Hey guys, I'm Mono, and let me tell you, the Battlefield 2042 beta is freaking awesome. I'm having an absolute blast. It seems like some people are not, and I'll talk about that in a bit, but for me, currently, like, this reminds me of Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3 in the absolute best way possible. It's chaotic, but not too chaotic. It's a lot of fun. The map design, I think it's perfect. There's very good clusters of engagements going on, where you can like stay in one part of the map for quite a long time and just keep getting into fights. It's a lot of fun, and I am really enjoying it. I think there's a couple of issues with it that I will talk about, but overall, I am really happy with this game right now. I think I'll be streaming this pretty much the entire day, so if you want to catch me live and ask me some questions on what I'm thinking about the game, then please follow me on Twitch. I will leave the link to my Twitch down in the video description. Alright, let's talk Battlefield 2042 beta. First of all, it is janky. It is... that's to be expected, I guess, with a Battlefield game, but I think we all, you know, given the amount of development time this had and everything, yeah, it is still janky, and there are still some issues. Primarily, I can't open the map, and it seems like nobody can open the map, which is just hilarious. I mean, how do you release a beta where you can't open the map? It is such a basic function of the game. So no map, and attachments, weapon attachments seem to reset after each life sometimes. After a while, like after 2 hours of playing, I had it work fine, where I didn't have to start each life by, you know, basically configuring the weapon that I was just using. So yeah, that seems to work on and off. It is janky, let's put it that way. I've also seen people flying in midair in invisible vehicles, kind of like Wonder Woman, which is just hilarious, but it's also pretty bad. So yeah, it is Battlefield, and it shows. And I don't mean that in a good way, obviously, but you know, like, it's... let's just say it could be worse. Performance is kind of a mixed bag. I've been running this on a 2080 and running it at medium settings, and it runs fine, but I'm also streaming and recording, and that takes a major hit on the system. So I think if I wasn't recording, I would probably be able to run this at high settings with 40p resolution, which is what I've been running it at, and it would be absolutely fine. But that's, you know, my computer is pretty beefy. But overall, I am not too concerned about performance. Jankiness, as I mentioned, is there 100%, and I think the game needs like 6 more months in dev time. But, you know, from the alpha, where I heard really bad things about the alpha, and this seems to be a lot better. The people that I know that have played the alpha told me that the beta is just way better. So who knows? Maybe they might fix it by launch by November, if the rumors that it's getting delayed to March are not true. One thing that actually surprised me in the wrong way is the destruction. The level of destruction is okay. It reminds me of Battlefield 3. It doesn't seem to be as good as Battlefield 5, for example. And yeah, I don't know. I've just been hitting a lot of stuff that I would think would explode or destroy or anything, and nothing's happening. So I don't know, it seems... it's hard to judge with only one map, you know, playing only one map. But so far, I am not impressed with the level of environmental destruction in this Battlefield game, which is a disappointment, 100%. It just doesn't seem like they pushed the tech at all in this one. It seems like it's the same old tech from Battlefield 3 or 4, or... I don't know, I seem to remember the destruction on BF5 being better than this. So far, yeah, it's okay, it's fine, but it's not blowing me away at all. But what is blowing me away is pretty much everything else. So let's talk about that. First of all, the weapons feel good. I spoke with Terry Dactyl. Terry plays a lot of Hella Loose with me, and he really hates the gunplay in the beta, which I absolutely do not understand, because for me, the TTK is perfect. It's not too long, and it's not too short. If you're engaging an enemy from long range using an assault rifle, which is basically the only weapon I used, then it will take quite a few shots to down them. But that's fine, because that's not the distance at which those engagements should be killing you in, you know, a couple of shots. when you're up close, it really takes like 2 or 3 shots to kill someone, and that is absolutely perfect. Mid-range combat is perfect. There's plenty of time to run away from an enemy that's shooting at you without dying, and there's also plenty of time to kill someone if they are out in the open and you're accurate with your aim. So overall, I am really liking the gunplay, and maybe some people aren't, but I'm not sure why, because for me it is perfect. And the weapon attachment system, it works great. It's a bit, you know, it's gonna take a bit of a while to get used to switching on the fly and stuff like that if you really want to maximize your stopping power or whatever, but I'm really enjoying it. I think it works as intended. It's perfect. Visibility is also really strong. You can see enemies perfectly from very far away, and you can land your shots really accurate. There's this, the hit markers are awesome. I think they work really well, and I think that's also some of the issues that people had with the alpha. And I've seen like some interface snippets and stuff like that and people complaining about them. For me, it is absolutely fine. I will say the HUD is like 2 times bigger than it should be, and currently there's no way to you know, decrease the size of that, which I'm extremely disappointed by. Hopefully in the full release we get an option to decrease the HUD, because it is massive. When an enemy caps a sector, you get this massive red text. It doesn't look good. It should be much better, and it should be much cleaner, and it isn't. Vehicles are straight up pulled from Battlefield 4. They feel exactly the same. At least I've spent a lot of time in a tank, and it feels exactly the same as Battlefield 4. I haven't found the vehicle customization options. I don't think they're included in the beta, so we'll have to see what options you get there. But so far, they feel exactly the same as Battlefield 4, so if you enjoyed tanking or using vehicles in Battlefield 4, you will like the vehicles here. And I've been having an absolute blast with the tank, and I've downed so many helicopters in a single day. I think it must be a personal record. Speaking of which, there's bots in this game, and I think you can really tell who's a bot when they're piloting a helicopter, because they will just stand still in the middle of the air, which is obviously not very good. And yeah, overall, like, I don't think bots are a bad thing for a Battlefield game. I've always thought that they should add bots to Battlefield because they can make server population a non-issue, basically. And I think they work fine. Like, I've obviously seen some bots do some random stupid shit, like stand in the middle of an open field, but that's gonna happen on both teams, so you know, it's not a problem, and it's just some free, easy kills for everyone, and that's absolutely fine for me. Alright, now let's talk about some of the X Factor in this game, some of the Battlefield DNA that's been injected straight into the vein of Battlefield 2042, because oh my god, the zipline might be my favorite thing in a Battlefield game ever, because it just takes the craziness to a whole new level. You can zip across the sky onto enemies, you can parachute and zip onto another zipline, and you can grab onto that. It is just crazy. It's very versatile, and it is a ton of fun to use, and it works great. The new Conquest design, where you basically have like 2 mini flags on each major sector, and you need to cap both for the ticket to start bleeding, I think that's my favorite thing about the entire game so far, because what it creates is a constant battle in these tiny sectors of the map where you can just go there and have a blast without really needing to push to another flag too quickly. You know, in previous Battlefield titles, sometimes you would cap a flag, you know, have some combat, then cap it, and then just drive away to another sector and engage in the same exact thing once again. Here, because you have 2 flags that you're fighting over, you're basically fighting over one, and then you go fight over the other one, and maybe the enemy is taking the one you just capped again, and overall engagements seem to be much more prolonged and more intense in these pockets in the map. I think it works fantastically, and I think that's the major like innovation from this Battlefield, this new title. It's not the destruction, it's not, you know, the weapons or anything like that, because that's straight up Battlefield 4, I think. But that design is, it makes these open maps work much better than in other Battlefield titles. At least that's the impression I got so far. And that's gonna be pretty much it. I think in terms of graphics, it looks fine. It doesn't look, it's not like mind-blowing how good it looks or anything. Again, that's maybe not where they pushed the envelope on this one. I don't think they pushed the envelope on anything really, except for the player count and just the overall like revamping of the franchise as, hey, let's go back to these big-ass open maps with a ton of vehicles everywhere. And I almost forgot, but the vehicle call-in system works perfectly. You can get a tank in like seconds straight off at the start of the game. There can only be, it seems like, 2 tanks per team at any given moment. That's fine. And I think it works really well, like this new mechanic where you can press the B key and call in a vehicle and it's deployed to you in like 5-10 seconds or something. It works great. It works great for covering large distances in open maps like this, where otherwise you would be stuck running forever or having to redeploy. This is a really smart solution, and it changes things up quite a bit. It means also a lot of vehicles all the time in the game, and that is perfect for a Battlefield game. That's how a Battlefield game should be. So, okay guys, that's my first impressions for now. I am really enjoying this, and I cannot wait for release. Alright, let me know what you think down in the comment section if you tried this. Let me know about the TTK specifically. I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts about it. I think it's perfect, but some people might not feel the same way. If you enjoyed this video, then please think about subscribing to the channel for more. And as always, thank you for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next one.